This is a movie for Chapter 8, Pause and Practice. We're on Pause and Practice 8.1. This is the second movie, and it starts with step number 7. So we finished up the goals, the scenario manager, and now we're going to talk about goal seek. So goal seek is where you know what you want the answer to be, and you want to go back and see what has to happen in order to achieve that goal. So it's like, here's what I want to get. What do I need to do to achieve that? And that thing that you want to achieve needs to be a formula, right? And so what will happen is you'll set that value, and then the pieces and parts that are the formula is built on, it will show you what you need to achieve in order to make the goal that you have. So let's go to the recycling worksheet. And so if I want in D4, if I want Baudette's total amount of rebate for recycling to be $50, I'm going to do a goal seek. So look at what the formula is. It's B4 times C4. So I can't change the price, right? That's the price, but I could change how much is collected. So I want to make this total rebate $50, and what's going to happen is it's going to show me how many pounds of aluminum, plastic, and glass do I need to collect and recycle in order to achieve that goal, that rebate goal of $50. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going. So let's go ahead and go up to this what if analysis, but we're going to move down to goal seek. So in the goal seek, I want to set cell D4, which is the answer to that $50, right? And then what I want to change is what piece of this formula is variable. Do I have control over? And that's how much I collect. So that's cell B4. So it's saying, okay, I want to get $50 a rebate. So, and I have 45 with 130 pounds collected. How many pounds do I need to collect in order to get that 50? So I'm going to go ahead and do okay. And goal seek said, hey, it did find a solution, because sometimes there is no solution. You have a goal that you can't achieve. It's beyond the capability. It's just not attainable. In this particular situation, it is attainable. We can achieve $50 rebate if we have 142.8571429 pounds collected. Okay, so let's go see here. We're going to go ahead and say okay to select this, accept the solution. And we're going to do the same thing for Breezy Point. So let's come here to Breezy Point. This is the value we want to change we want to achieve $50 here by upping how many pounds. So we're going to go up to what if analysis, goal seek. Now we're changing D5. We want to change it to $50, and we're still changing the only thing we can, which is the pounds collected. Okay, it is achievable. We can achieve $50 if we get 147. So we're going to go ahead and do okay. We're going to select B4 through B8, and we're going to make that have 2 decimals. So, oops, that's not what I wanted. So I'm going to decrease to 2 decimals. Cool. All right, so that's pretty good. Okay, create a scenario for the current data. Okay, so B4 through B7, we're going to come up to data, what if, scenario manager, and we're going to add one. Notice there wasn't any there because we're on a different sheet. And this scenario is going to be called current. OK. And remember, with current, we're not adjusting anything. So we're going to do OK and close. So now we have a snapshot of what the pounds are in order to achieve the goals that we want. Okay. So the next thing that you need to do is install Solver, which is an add-on to Excel. And so I already have Solver, but you just would need to follow step 9, where you go File, Options, Add-ins, and then Solver add-in, which I already have mine, so but I'll go ahead and do this. Solver add-in, OK, which I already had it, so it's not going to change anything. But now we have this analysis with Solver on the end. So Solver is an analysis tool that will find like lowest, highest, or a specific results for a formula by changing values within some constraint that you set or some limitation. So like if you say it can't be higher than this or lower than that, and so Solver will go through different scenarios and figure out what could be a solution. So think about it as solving something in reverse. You know where you want to be, and so you use Solver to figure out how you're going to get there. One thing, just like GoalSeek, Solver may not be able to find all the problem, or may not be able to find a solution. Okay, so in the Solver screen, I'm going to set my objective to D8. That's what I want the bottom line to be changed. And I want the max selected, and what values do I want to change? Well, the only thing that I can actually change is the pounds collected. So I'm going to select B4 through B7. Oops, sorry. I'd get rid of that. Go into by changing variable cells and select B4 through B7. This is the only thing I can control. By changing the pounds collected, I change the total rebate for that location, which then updates this total that I can achieve. So now what we're going to do is start putting in some constraints. So let's go ahead and say add. What happened? There we go. Okay, so we're adding a constraint. So B4, so we're talking about Baudette right now, and we're saying Baudette's total collected has to be less than 150. We can't possibly collect more than 150 pounds. So we're going to add that. We're going to say add. It's going to let us put another constraint in. So we're going to do the same thing Baudette, but this time we're going to do greater than or equal. So this would be setting the lower constraint, which would be 130. So what we're in fact saying there is Baudette has to be between 130 and 150 pounds collected. That's Baudette's range. So we want to see how we can play out that scenario. All right, so then we're going to do the same thing to Breezy Point, Cass Lake, and Walker. So we're going to use this little chart right here. So I'm going to select B5, and I already have less than, so in the little window. So I'm going to do less than 160, add, B5 greater than or equal to 150. So the range for Baudette's collection is between 150 and 160. I'm going to add. I'm going to say B6. So we're at less than 175. Add. B6 greater than or equal to 150. Add. Then we want to do Walker. So we're picking Walker's. Has to be less than 200. And B7 greater than or equal to 180. Add. So once we're done with those, we're going to say OK. And so here's our constraints. So we just want to take a minute and make sure that we have it correct. So less for Baudette, the pounds collected is less than or equal to 150, but greater than or equal to 130. That's correct. For B5, which is Breezy Point, it's greater than or less than or equal to 160, greater than or equal to 150. Good. The next one, which is Cass Lake, B6, less than or equal to 175, but greater than or equal to 150. And Walker is less than or equal to 200 and greater than or equal to 180. So we want to make sure that this make unconstrained variables non-negative and choose the GRG nonlinear, which is all I ever use. So we're going to go ahead and say solve it. And it did find a solution, and all constraints are optimally are satisfied. So there's a couple things we can do with this now. We want to, right here where it says save scenario, we're going to save it, and it's going to be called max. Because remember at the very beginning we selected that max button. We're going to go ahead and do OK. It returns back to the solver screen, and we want to produce an answer report. So first thing we do is we save it. Then we pick what kind of report we want, and we're going to go ahead and do OK. So now if you look down here, we have an answer report. So this is out of Solver, and it will tell you the constraints. It'll tell you what it's changed. So the original value for the total rebates was $212. If we maximize, if we get the max of all of the collection from all of our sites, we could up that to $234. Okay. Let's see. All right, click the What If Analysis button again, and Scenario Manager. We're going to, okay, so we're on the answer report, and if we come up here, we're going to see that there's nothing there, because remember, each scenario is based on the tab. So we have to go back to recycling, come up to the Scenario Manager, and let's see, I think we want to be on max. So let's do summary. The results cell is B. We want a scenario summary, and we're going to click OK. So now we have a scenario summary 2. So here was our scenario summary. Here's scenario summary 2 from all of the constraints that we changed. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that, and we're done with pause and practice 8.1. So let's go ahead and move on. Next movie on 8.2. All right, thank you.